Okay, welcome to South Asia Championships Cup, presented by Global Esports
User left your
Pantheon.
channel.
Hello. We have,
Hi.
hey, what's up? We have our first game between LeagueFriends 1 from India and PES, currently the first seed from Group C. And from Group A, LeagueFriends 1 are currently the second seed coming in. This is a best of three knockout elimination round. And looks like the bans are coming in.
Yeah, the bands look really interesting from Portal Esports targeting Urgot in the top, Nocturne in the jungle, and Morgana as the support. Maybe they're
Mm-hmm.
banning out the comfort picks from League Friends, and League Friends is doing the same for Portal Esports.
Both me and Portal Esports are from the same region, so I'm quite familiar with them. Nocturne is, I feel like it's something they've been practicing, or art is just something they would not like to play against.
Right, I see. So one thing I know that's very interesting is that Kranko is playing for Portal Esports, and he's from
Mm-hmm.
India. So I find that very, very interesting. It's nice that they picked up a talent. I've known Kranko for a long time, very decent at what he does. And I see the Thresh is banned out against him. Also the Lucian and Yasuo. I wasn't expecting a Yasuo ban because usually in sorry, not ranked five, team of fives, Yasuo doesn't really 100% do well when a whole team is coordinated. So I wonder
Mm-hmm.
why they ban it out. Do you think Portal
Well,
Esports plays?
within the Pakistani community, as far as I know, and I'm close with this team in particular. So unknown
Microphone
GI, their
muted.
mid laner, who's also currently sitting at one of the highest ranks like ever achieved by a Pakistani player, um, is known to be one of the highest mastery points in Yasuo, and one of the most played champions of his include Yasuo. So it's something very to be feared and has been shown to be very respectable in games throughout different tournaments.
Right, I see. So looking here, the first pick was on Portal Esports. They've blind picked Irelia into it. Do you think they will be going top or middle?
Oh,
And
Aurelia, I feel like it's also a bit of a flex pick. Giving that away would probably they probably just want to flex it a little bit, but it's most likely going middle. And we have Victor coming in, which can go top or mid as well, I feel. So it might just be a flex.
right, I think it's a good option for them. One is like a melee bruiser, another one is ranged and has the AP damage. They're also abusing the Nautilus right now. Nautilus seems to be doing extremely well with his CC and everything. The um point click target ulti. And
Mm-hmm.
on League Friends, they took a Leona, Na, and Huawei. What do you think their game plan is here with this first three picks?
Well, I definitely think they're trying to make the League friends over here make a champion pick against the Aurelia and then try to counter it or just flex it to be in their favor. So they're definitely trying to get good matchups for themselves.
Right. And now we're in the second ban phase. So we see Vayne that's banned, Rek'Sai, Jarvan 4, and Ziggs. Does League Friends play a good Ziggs? Because I'm a fan of Ziggs. I love Ziggs. And I was shocked to see that ban come out.
Well, I don't know particularly about the Ziggs ban. I'm not really familiar with League friends. However, it might just be a respect ban. The Wayne might also be a respect ban. It is not something you see being banned very often by Portal Esports.
Right. So it looks very interesting. A Caitlyn is coming out on League Friends, have a bit of range, and there is a Xayah. Yes, they take Xayah. What do you think the Xayah pick is for, paired with a Nautilus? I think that's to get a perma stun on the target.
Well, Xayah is also a very safe champion. Probably would be good against targets like Warwick or Leona with single target CC. So it'd be really difficult for their current team composition to get onto the Xayah and keep her down.
Right, and there's a Vi coming out. So Vi would be in the jungle. I like what Portal Esports is doing here with the single target CC and the ultimates from Nautilus and Vi. I just feel a little bit worried about their AoE damage. I mean, that comes out of Victor, but there's not a lot of AoE damage, which I feel, we should have to balance out
Hmm.
team composition. But they do have a nice mix of bruisers, a tank, a
Hmm.
semi-tank, the Nautilus because he's a support.
I I'm gonna counter that argument with LeagueFriends composition, which have primarily single target damage. The only AoE I can think of is like bundled in with their ultimates.
Yeah,
Otherwise, most of their ultimates are like single target damage, whereas we have Xayah doing the AoE damage, we have Victor doing the AoE damage, we have Aurelia, not Aurelia, Aurelia is a single target, but she's very bursty. And we also have a little bit of Nautilus with his E over time could add up to quite a bit of damage.
yeah.
So I feel like what you said about Portal Esports composition, that LeagueFriends composition is suffering more from.
Looking at the final pick being Malzahar, had they picked something that was um, a little more splash damage, a different kind of mage, it wouldn't have limited LeagueFriends composition to this extent. Now I'm feeling kind of worried. Is the peel going to be there for the Caitlyn? Is the peel going to be there for them to finish off the kills? Whereas Portal Esports look like they will lock onto a target and they'll vanish almost instantly. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. And yeah, so coming in,
Mm-hmm.
this is the stage 2, the knockout stage between Portal Esports from Pakistan and LeagueFriends from India. They were from the first seed and now they will play against the second seed. Portal Esports came from Group C. They were first undefeated, and LeagueFriends came from Group A and they were second. So the winner of this match will qualify to the league stage of the tournament.
Yep. And currently, and thank you to Global Esports for sponsoring the tournament. And now let's just talk more about the picks here, because like, do you feel like what's gonna go on here? I'm really curious to see how the junglers decide to go about their routing and just how they decide to play out the game.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Because I, for one, play jungle a lot more. I would like to start with the pathing of the junglers. So we have Vi from Portal Esports and we have Warwick on the side of LeagueFriends. I feel
Mm-hmm.
that both of them have a relatively similar clear time. Warwick might come out a little bit more healthy because of his lifesteal, but it's going to be a tough. It's a pretty even matchup for both of them. Whereas I think Warwick will actually have more difficulty ganking lanes as compared to Vi, because for each lane, like top you have Irelia, mid you have Victor maybe, or oh no, top is Victor,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it? And mid you have Irelia, and for the bot lane you have Nautilus and Xayah. That's going to be very easy in the lane for Vi to follow up and pull off a good gank. Whereas on the side of LeagueFriends, Caitlyn and Leona, okay, we have Leona there to help. Na is a bit iffy because you have to wait for him to, change his form. Then he gets
Mm-hmm.
proper CC. Other than that, when he's in the small form, he only has a slow. And Malzahar pretty much doesn't have any CC except a silence, which that's not really a CC. It's like he only has his ulti, which if Malzahar becomes level 6 and Warwick ganks, that will be a sure kill. But the mid lane is definitely lacking in gank potential for the Warwick. So I think early game LeagueFriends might have a little bit of a harder time.
Well, Portal Esports might not even have the same opportunity to pull off some ganks. I think both junglers will probably handshake a bit because if you look into the scaling side of things, all LeagueFriends seem to have is single target damage. Like if you notice, they have single target CC, and aside from maybe the Leona, it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to win team fights later on because the AoE damage will just prove too substantial and add up over time. It's going to be very difficult for them to win later on in the game if they don't do anything early. And with the champion pick of Warwick coming in, it's a bit of a contrast to their Caitlyn and Leona pick, which look to punish early on and look to gain leads early on. So I just feel
Mm,
like they're going for more of a comfort style here, whereas Portal Esports is coming in with like a bit of more of a game plan, if not like not completely concentrated on it.
that's
So
true.
I do think it's going to be difficult for Y to gank early on, but if she were to get 6 and like be able to bully around the Warwick or track him, it's going to be very difficult for Warwick to be able to do anything of use to his team.
Right. What's interesting is that looking at the keystones right now, Vi has opted to take Aftershock. Nautilus is on Aftershock. The Vi with the Aftershock was a little bit of a surprise to me. Is this Vi probably going to go a little bit more on the tanky side, or is Aftershock just an overall much better keystone in this case
And
for
looks
her?
like the game is on the way.
All right, we have just got in. We have Portal Esports on the blue side versus LeagueFriends on the red side. Is going to be very, very interesting.
This is a best of 3 rounds, so this is going to go on for long. The first game may not necessarily be the winner, but it will certainly set the momentum for the rest of the games.
Exactly. This is the first game of the day, right? Yeah.
Yep, and also the first game that's being streamed.
The
Quite
first
an
game.
opener.
Oh, right, right. So looking here, we have Auto Esports trying to gain as much.
Information as they can, I suppose.
Yes. And looking at LeagueFriends, they all seem to be guarding the entrances as best to their ability, and Portal Esports will just be getting into position. Oh, and Nautilus is walking straight into that jungle. Is he going to drop a ward? Perhaps he has a timing in which he's to give information to his jungler, Ninja.
It is definitely a ploy to just get as much information as possible without risking too much. Nobody decides to go for anything too risky at level 1, and just standard starts going in. I suspect both the junglers are just going to clear their jungle and try to set up for something they've already pre-planned.
Right,
Or,
okay. I would just like to make a note. So we are going to fast forward to the current live time. And right now, what we see is Irelia very... Oh, Irelia got first blood onto the Malzahar. And
already.
Yeah, and Warwick has cleared the full bottom side of his jungle and is now heading to his red. Vi clears also 3 camps, but not only on one side, also at her second buff. So that's going to be really good for Porto Esports. The Irelia in the mid lane getting that first blood 400 gold on Malzahar.
That will probably be quite a windfall for Portal Esports side. Getting a lead that early, also blowing a flash can set up really easily for Y. Now that his flash is down, Warwick's job is to protect Malzahar as much as possible, but currently he's not a champion that is very strong in the early game and that can do much except maybe garner get some vision for his team.
Right, and looking at just this, there's an engage right now onto
Aurelia going in. Will make a nasty trade onto the Malzahar, who still currently has no flash. Potentially another all-in coming in soon.
Right,
and Malzahar will have to play.
Yes, and Warwick's just about invading the Vi, but Vi seems to want to recall. I think Warwick's looking for a play between
a stun will not land.
And looks like Malzahar has turned the fight and got a kill. A comeback
solo kill
straight on Irelia, and that is a pause because Malzahar has said that, on the side of LeagueFriends, their AD carry has disconnected. So let's just talk about that mid-fight that just went on between Malzahar and Irelia.
Earlier was just looking to punish. She missed the stun, went in anyway, and took a lot of minion damage, and it just wasn't very characteristic of the player, and just not a very decision. So ended up getting punished for it and ended up giving over a solo kill to Malzahar.
Right, I hope Malzahar gets back into lane, get that CS up, because right now Malzahar only has 9 CS to 23, got a revenge kill, but I don't think that is enough to stop the Irelia from hitting the Malzahar very hard. That is Porto Esports Unknown G versus LeagueFriends Lethal. And we just like to thank our sponsors for this tournament, Global Esports. This is a best of 3, and the winner of this match will qualify to the league stage of the tournament. So right now we just have a little bit of pause because the AD carry has disconnected. And I'd just like to ask Eureka, how do you feel about the Victor versus Na matchup? Right now, we can see that Na has a little bit of, he's about one wave ahead of the Victor. How do you think that's going to play out?
I think Victor is just trying to focus on getting his Hextech core upgrade so he can easily wave clear. The fact that Nara is like shoving in and is currently full HP, both laners aren't trading much as far as I can tell, and Victor just wants to get his Hextech core, so I do think that's a bit more favorable to Victor as soon as he can wave control and he can exude a lot of pressure from the on the other side of the map and rotate with his jungler and just do more once he gets his wave clear, I feel. But I'm still more concentrated on the mid lane matchup. If you noticed, Aurelia doesn't seem to have burned her flash. She might still be looking to use that for an all-in on the Malzahar, who still does not have flash. So let's see. Like, I do think Aurelia could have survived if she decided to utilize flash there, but maybe she has more in plan. Maybe in cooperation with Y, they're going to set up a gank that would further set the Malzahar behind. And as you said, the 23 to 9 CS deficit is quite large.
Yeah. Another thing I want to point out that seems to be pretty interesting is that the bottom lane of LeagueFriends, we have Binoy and Dark Vader. They don't have heal in this lane. Instead, Caitlyn has opted to take Barrier and Leona has Ignite, where on the side of Portal Esports, Zaya has heal and Nautilus has Ignite. So is that actually going to be beneficial for Caitlyn and Leona? I don't think so. The extra heal
Well,
won't be there, the movement speed.
Well, it does sort of prevent a bit of all-in damage, and the fact that Nullis does have Ignite, the barrier may be effective against burst damage, and as because heal would just be cut down by half, thanks to the Ignite from Nullis. So maybe it's just a preemptive attempt to prevent any all-in burst coming in because Leona is not a protective champion. She is a champion that likes to go in. And if somebody were to go in on Caitlyn, all she could really provide are stuns for safety. And that just may prove to not be enough. If those stuns do not go onto the Xayah, the damage might just prove too much. So thinking of that, they may have to decide to pick barrier to just survive.
Right, right. So both teams have teleport in the top lane. I feel that teleport is definitely essential in 5v5 games to get that map pressure, the rotations. As for Vi and Warwick, Vi has seemed to recall and already gotten her jungle item. Warwick is helping Malzahar push out because of that previous kill and the vision on the map. Maybe LeagueFriends just has a little bit more on the top side of the map, but it's still very hard to tell. Not sure which team yet this early in this game is going to dominate the pressure. But what do you think in terms of mobility? Which team do you think is going to follow up fast enough? It's easier for them to make the roam and to overall put more pressure on the lanes and to try and get tower plates or the tower.
It really depends. Like I said, when Victor gets his Hextech core, it makes it much more easier for him to effectively wave clear. And Nar may not necessarily be able to match up to that with his Phage. So other than that, it really depends on who has priority in lane. And so far, from what I can tell, Aurelia has been pushing in the lane, been a bit more dominant and wave controlling really well. And as we can see right now, the bottom lane is being pushed in by PES's side. So I'm going to assume that they have roam priority. It's going to be really difficult for the side of LeagueFriends to roam and help out any junglers or anything along those lines.
Right. So I can't wait for this game to get into the team fighting aspect. I want to see how LeagueFriends is going to engage with their comp, how Portal Esports will also engage in how they are going to fight this out. So the CS difference looks pretty okay. Caitlyn is suffering on the low side, Victor as well, but all should be all right and all should be good.
Yep. I do think that a lot of Portal Esports side does have a bunch of priority lanes right now. I'm looking forward to see how they utilize that and how they push into the towers and they rotate to take them because that I don't think the team fight is going to go very favorable for LeagueFriends because of the
Mm,
AoE aspect that Portal Esports team has is greatly advantageous in. So I do think if we're on the side of LeagueFriends, we would want to avoid any all-ins, at least not later on, at least later on in the game. But like right now, there's not really much you can do. Y is heading to the bottom side. Warwick has cleared most of his bottom side jungle, and like his top camps probably haven't. He hasn't taken them, but I think he's taken Scuttle. And yeah, it's just going to be really difficult to do anything for either of the junglers until they probably get their ultimates. And that's playing into the favor of
mm,
Portal Esports because I do think they do have the scaling advantage.
right. Okay, I'm going to look forward to this. Word just came out that they are almost going to resume. So thank you everybody for waiting and watching this stream. This is the South Asia Champions Cup, sponsored by Global Esports Pantheon. A very huge thank you to our sponsors, Global Esports. Then esports brand, be sure to check out their social media. This is the stage 2, the knockout stage, with Portal Esports from Pakistan versus LeagueFriends from India. And Portal Esports actually came out of Group C undefeated, and LeagueFriends came out from Group A. They placed second. This will be a best of 3. Winners of this match and all the other matches will qualify to the league stage of the tournament.
And well, as you said, the winner of this match will be carrying forward a huge amount of momentum going into the next matches. One more win for whoever wins this to take it home. So it's not a small deal. It's going to be pretty substantial in the long run to see who wins this game.
Yes, it's very, very exciting for the South Asia scene here for this Champions Cup.
And looks like our players will be resuming the game.
All right, it's about time because I'm just as excited for all the action. Watch how
Yeah.
this is going to
Mm-hmm.
go. It's
Would
all
really love
going.
to see it play out. Definitely.
Yes. I just found the turn of events from the Irelia onto the Malzahar, and Malzahar coming back and turning that over. But as you said, Irelia doesn't have Irelia has flash and Malzahar doesn't. Malzahar's on the lower side of CS. It's gonna still be tough for
The game has been
Stealth.
resumed, and here we go.
So we're looking now at the bot lane.
Ball
That
lane's pushing in.
seems to want to get that dominance in the lane.
Warwick
And
helps Malzahar shove in the lane so he doesn't lose too much CS, and looks like he'll be going for the scuttle. Y just collects the CS on the mid lane.
yeah, so I wonder if this barrier is down on Caitlyn, if the bot lane of Portal Esports is going to try to do anything more risky.
Gnar is taking a lot of big trades on his HP bar, and Victor is relatively healthy.
Right, Warwick was looking for a gank down in bot. And Na seems to be doing pretty okay with the farming. And here comes Warwick doing the W. Q's onto the Nautilus. And they try to get a gank off, but Nautilus flashes out into safety. And it looks like there won't be a kill for LeagueFriends.
Oh, Gnar is about to go Mega Gnar. Aurelia roaming in. E will
And,
land, but Aurelia will not decide to go for it.
right, and so Na managed to get away safe from his hop. And Irelia actually made that sneaky roam to the top lane. So that was very nice, like we were talking about before, the mobility of the mobility of the champions in which both teams are playing. You did mention that Irelia has always had her lane pushed out. So Malzahar and Warwick pushed the lane out, but Vi held the lane and Irelia made her way to top to try and get the gank off. But looking at both teams, a gank in bottom and a gank in top, both sides didn't come out successful, but they did manage to burn some summoners.
As well as get a pretty decent HP advantage for the respective laners. If you consider it from that perspective, it makes it much easier for a laner to push out the lane opponent out of lane and garner a bigger CS advantage.
Mm. So now there's another pause.
And another resume coming right in. Looks
Yes.
like the Caitlyn from LeagueFriends side is seemingly having some problems.
So the ping issues usually come about for anyone who is watching and want to figure out why there's so many pauses. We play in the Arena Singapore and Malaysia server. We come from Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, all the South Asia countries, Sri Lanka, and sometimes the ping is unstable for us and we tend to have a lot of DCs and all of that. But not to worry, now we're back into the game and we see Na very low.
Looks
And
like the side of LeagueFriends has decided to control a lot of the vision on the dragon side of the map. They might be looking to take mountain, and Nar is very low. Y is already heading there, so we might be seeing a trade coming in from the dragon and the top lane. Nar going down, but he's just going to concede the tower. He does have teleport available, so its hope is not lost for our little Nar yet.
yes, and it's good that LeagueFriends. Oh, a fight here in the mid lane. Malzahar does not have his ulti, and Irelia all ins from LeagueFriends.
And Malzahar will go down. A solo kill coming in from the Aurelia. Beautifully played.
And she still has her flash. Oh, here comes Warwick.
Warwick might be looking to go in, but this might be risky coming in. Aurelia is quite healthy. Aurelia will go down, but Warwick will have to burn his flash. May not be the best of trades.
And there is another pause.
Probably the Caitlyn getting some connectivity issues once again.
All right, just getting word. And yes, another pause has come in. But this is due to the reason of Portal Esports. Earlier, LeagueFriends had troubles, and yeah, right now Portal Esports are facing a few troubles of their own. Well, not to worry. We just have a little chat as we look at the CS differences. So Irelia still coming out on top, and as well Zaya also. Portal Esports overall seems to be doing very well in the laning phase against LeagueFriends, but we're going to hope.
The mid lane alone has over 20 CS differential, so it is quite scary, and things are looking pretty bleak for the side of LeagueFriends if they're unable to somehow manage to turn this around or get something on the side of the other lanes.
Yes, so looking at the itemization, Irelia is going for 3 long swords. What do you think the first item would be for Irelia in this case?
I'm quite not sure what 3 long swords translates into.
It could be a Yomu's, a Dustblade.
I do not think going full damage would be good for their team composition because they have a lot of single target damage. What Aurelia wants to do is not get bursted out by the single target damage. So yeah, I doubt she wants to do that, especially if they want to see send Aurelia to split in a different lane or just go against Malzahar later on in the game. They want her to have a little bit of health to survive the ultimate or the initial burst.
Yes, and Malzahar looks like he will be building possibly a Morello, or it could be also Leandri's.
Oh, actually, Tiamat might have been a good addition. It would help Aurelia push out the waves much faster and roam to her team and like just be there quicker for objectives, as well as negate some of Malzahar's push, as well as his minions. Tiamat would make a lot of sense here.
Right. So I want to just talk a little bit about supports here. We have Nautilus from Portal Esports and Leona from LeagueFriends. Both of them have decided to start Relic Shield. And lately, I have seen a lot of tanky supports. I mean, Relic Shield provides the sustain, the extra heal in lane, but many supports lately that I have seen, even regardless that if they're a tank, they have gone for the gold coin because apparently it's much more cost efficient and it builds up faster. So what do you think? Do you think they should have opted for the gold coin or stay with the relic shield?
Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with the statistics involving the support items, so I wouldn't be able to say anything about that.
Right. I personally think that the gold coin helps them get the wards faster because it charges up faster, but it does not give you that sustain in lane. Looking at the Nautilus and how Desire is full health, I feel that if Nautilus probably went for that gold coin, you get the wards earlier, and you can see on the mini map now the Nautilus is right at the dragon. Cranko as a player, I know he likes a lot of vision control, but he probably has other reasons to why he picked the relic shield instead. And the gold coin as well also gives you a lot more movement speed. So the game has now been unpaused, and we will get back right into it.
And Aurelia has purchased the Tiamat and is now building into the Phage. Has a little bit of health available, has a lot of wave clear, and that's probably a good decision on her part.
Yes, we see the Tiamat coming out. So just as you said, fast clear, roam to help her team.
And Victor has also picked up his Hextech Gore upgrade, so he's able to easily wave clear now. And so both mid lane and top lane have a lot of mobility available to roam to help each other, I suppose, or set up anything they may need to.
Yes. And looking at the junglers, both the junglers are on the bottom side of the map. Going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. We can see Malzahar moving into the river.
The bottom side of the map, they had set up a lot of vision in this area earlier with wards and pink wards coming in. So they might either choose to do dragon or do something at the bottom side of the map. But
Yeah.
it looks like Portal Esports is quite wary, and we'll see how it turns out.
Alright, so it seems that LeagueFriends has started the dragon. Leona is engaging onto the Nautilus. A fight breaks out.
It's not a very long fight. Vi will ulti and will get suppressed, trapped, and she will be going down here. Not very good on the side of Portal Esports. Aurelia did have the pressure on the map, and they just went in a bit too early. If they had waited for another wave to push in, they could have probably collapsed with the advantage on the mid lane and doesn't manage to do a lot more. But however, that was well played by LeagueFriends. They set up the vision, and the fact that Aurelia didn't roam kind of may have messed that up for the side of Portal Esports.
Right, and right now Nautilus is engaging onto the Caitlyn. Both of the bot lane in LeagueFriends is low. They fight to their life, and Xayah
and all-in
goes
coming
down.
in, and the Xayah will be going down. Peacemaker landing, and Nollis will also go down, but in Leona's life will be forfeit, but a very worthwhile forfeit it is.
So that's great. Right now, 5 kills on the side of LeagueFriends.
Aurelia seems to be looking to go in here because I think her teammates communicated to her that Malzahar doesn't have ultimate, so she could potentially easily go for this if she manages to land her E.
Yes, so 5 kills on the side of LeagueFriends and 4 kills on the side of Portal Esports. Looking at the average gold, Portal Esports definitely still has the upper hand. This has to do with the CS, the big CS difference in the mid lane, and smaller CS differences in the jungle and the AD carry. So now some dragon action is happening.
Nice stun will land. Oh, very nice. Leona will get picked off, and Aurelia will pick up Warwick on the side. And complete jungle pressure going in. Kranko flashing in to stun the root, the Caitlyn. Kranko will be traded in. Aurelia going deep. And both Malzahar and Caitlyn's life will be forfeited in exchange for Kranko's. They just overstayed too long.
Alright, hold on, I just got word from... Alright, so 4 deaths on the side of LeagueFriends, and...
Oh, Victor's looking to go all in here. Gnar will just hop away, still has flash available, and he will simply be forced to leave the lane. He does not have TP available. If he sticks around, his life may be at risk. Nautilus looking to go in here. No vision on the try. Nautilus goes in, Victor walks up. This might just be a kill here. And no, he will simply flash away. The auto attack will not land for the root.
Alright. So now we're just doing a little bit of syncing up on the replays to make sure everything is in real time. The Huawei ultis onto the Victor. There is a follow-up. Victor is suppressed and goes down. That was a 3-man gank. That was very, very nicely played by LeagueFriends. Are they going to take some tower plates? They are not. They are moving into the river, probably to get Rift. You see some pressure by LeagueFriends in the bot lane, getting that plates off the bottom tower. And Nautilus is coming back into lane. He decided to roam. A fight may break out. Rift Herald is being done by Global Esports. Irelia does a little bit of a trade in the mid lane, and there's a huge fight happening in the bot lane. Leona goes down, the stun was not effective, and there is one more kill for Global Esports.
And LeagueFriends will take the Herald. Y will try to stop. Wait, no, Y stole the Herald, and she took it. Aurelia roams in, and Y will ulti in. Aurelia ultimate misses. She's still going for this. Malzahar comes in. Aurelia is at risk. Victor coming in. Gnar goes Mega Gnar, stuns Aurelia. Both teams seem to be hesitating here. And Aurelia will simply take the kill on the Gnar.
Alright, so right now 10 kills on the side of Global Esports from Pakistan and 8 kills on the side of LeagueFriends from India.
That Herald was a huge hit to LeagueFriends over there, and it's going to be really interesting to see how Global Esports chooses to use that Herald to further open up the game. And Aurelia deciding to go in, E will land, QQ will just take it home, and she will get another solo kill. This might translate into a tower. Richter is pressuring top, TP channeled by the Gnar.
Alright, so we just got word that some of the replays are lagging due to server issues, so we would like to push the replay right to the end, the live time. Let's just get everything back in sync. Alright, we can see a fight happening in top. Warwick goes down to the Victor. That's one loss for LeagueFriends. The Vibe punches the Gnar. Gnar walks back, crawls back to his tower, and here comes
Gnar
the Rift
is now
Herald.
trying to get away. Y will land the Q. Victor chases, and looks like they will just stop the chase, but the tower will probably be theirs. There's currently no one coming. I think they're just respecting the Malzahar here and not forcing the tower because of it.
Alright, so looking here, I'm surprised that the bot lane on LeagueFriends is still playing very aggressive. I like that Leona has not had a very good experience, lost a bit of a life quite a number of times. And right now we see Global Esports is trying to put a lot of vision around the map. Vi is invading Warwick, Warwick attacks, but Vi is a level above Warwick. There's a TP coming in on the side of Global Esports.
Fight breaking out, Malzahar just ulting the Y. Y might go down here, and oh, the rates. Nope, managed to get the space aid onto the Y.
Oh dear, it's a slaughter. Portal Esports with 15 kills, LeagueFriends with 9. So was this something that you would have expected? I know the average elo of Portal Esports is in Diamond, and the average elo of LeagueFriends is about Gold and above.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if you look at the game control, like most of the plays have been initiated by Portal here, but the side of LeagueFriends did set up that one dragon, the Vision tab, but that unfortunately didn't work out for them
Right, so
because of the Aurelia.
right, and Nautilus Cranko shoots that out onto the Warwick, and he gets totally collapsed on Irelia. Irelia outs the Leona, goes in, Leona flashes out. Irelia tries to hit the stun, misses. Leona tries to run, creep gets creep blocked, and Caitlyn also gets finished off. So right now, the game is just in Portal Esports' hand, and LeagueFriends have to find a way to get back into the game.
And another pause.
Yes, the AD carry on the side of LeagueFriends have disconnected. Hopefully, everything will be back up. We would just like to thank our sponsors, Global Esports. They're an esports brand. Be sure to check the social media out. This is the South Asia Champions Cup, sponsored by Global Esports Pantheon. This will be a best of 3, and winner of the matches will qualify to the league stage of the tournament.
So, what do you think of LeagueFriends' performance here? And, wow, already unpaused.
All right, that's great. So LeagueFriends they've done their best. They did do a few successful collapses onto Portal Esports, but we can see that Portal Esports is just a lot more coordinated, more experienced. And I really engages onto the Malzahar. Is he going to get the kill? That's a very good flash from the Nautilus. Malzahar goes down. That's a double kill to the Nautilus.
Warwick might have to use ultimate to get away, and he uses the ultimate to re-engage because Nautilus was standing in front of him. This might just turn into a 2v4. And no, the headshot will land onto the Caitlyn.
Caitlyn's lagging. We see a lag.
Yeah,
but it's a competition.
They
They don't care. They get the kills that they can get.
The pause is not coming in time.
All right. So we hear that there's a little bit of an issue on the syncing of the commentating and the stream. Well, we're having the replays that we are watching. We're having problems. There's pauses and connectivity issues, but we hope you guys are still having a good time. So moving back, let's take a look at the CS difference. What do you see, Eureka?
Well, I see around a 5C, like what, 8 CS difference at the top lane. And there's like a pretty big CS lead in the mid lane.
The slaughter in top lane.
A pretty substantial lead in the bot lane, so yeah. Pretty rough game for the side of LeagueFriends here.
And Warwick and Malzahar goes down again to Portal Esports. Right now they're getting caught left, right, and center. That's an ulti from the Nautilus. Hook! And Na has gone to sleep. Oh, and it looks like there's a little bit of dancing going on.
The BM is real.
BM is...
After this, we have one more game coming in, and although this game is not finished, things are looking pretty grim for the side of LeagueFriends. I do look forward to see what they have in response in the next game, and whether they can manage to fix their Caitlyn's internet problems.
Yes, it's very unfortunate that they're facing ping problems. It looks like LeagueFriends want to collapse onto the Nautilus, but they're going to get caught out with the Irelia stun. Leona's taking a bit of a hit. And Caitlyn is trying to finish off the Xayah. Xayah flashes to save into the Wraith pit. And it looks like no one will go down now. So we see Irelia doing something very aggressive. Is she going to engage? Right now, I don't think it's good for LeagueFriends to be engaging outside of tower range. I think they should only commit when Portal Esports is trying to hit their tower. hopefully to get some help with the tower damage.
Our Victor has a fully upgraded Hextech core. Aurelia has 2 items. Jungle almost has her second item. Same goes for the ADC. Portal Esports is just coming into their power spikes and some major power spikes, and this also means pretty much doom for the side of LeagueFriends here, because like I said, the AoE damage is going to be quite substantial. All the side of LeagueFriends can do is just single target burst one person, but that's not going to be enough. The side of Portal Esports has multiple damage threats. They have Y, they have Victor, they have Xayah, so they have Aurelia. And Aurelia it's going to be more than enough to even take more than one person. And the same could be argued for the Victor or even the Xayah in this case, because of their item advantages and overall gold advantages. We currently see a 14k gold lead on the board up there, as well as 2 mountains.
Yes, 2 mountain dragons on the side of Portal Esports. We would like to thank everyone that is watching the stream. Thank you for watching the South Asia Champions Cup, sponsored by Global Esports Pantheon. And looks like they will be clashing in the top jungle. Warwick is so low, he outs the safety by ulties the Na, but she gets suppressed
He
by
may
the
have gone
Malzahar.
too far. Yep. But killing one person is not enough. There's just too many damage threats, and they will just simply be cleaned up.
Is that an ace?
And they're even trying to take on a tower without any minion.
I see that Nautilus. Alright, so that's an ace on the side of LeagueFriends. So to everybody that just came into the stream, Portal Esports is representing Pakistan. They do have a player from India, and that is Cranko playing support for Portal Esports, and LeagueFriends is a team from India. So right now we can see that Portal Esports is in the lead, but don't worry, this is a best of 3 match, and we will see if LeagueFriends will be able to turn it around in this game or in the other games.
So I have a bit of a theory, and that theory pretty much states that Cranko is pretty much the Indian mascot for Portal Esports. He's just put in there to be this messiah for the Indian people and be like, hey, we're all about that equality, you know?
But it looks like you see the Nautilus, the Cranko, his kill participation and assists are really high, are really up there. Together with the Irelia. Both of them seem to be doing very well in this game, making a lot of difference with the vision control from Nautilus and the solo dominance in the mid lane by Irelia. As for LeagueFriends, they did pull off some good ganks and collapses early in the game, but they seem to be suffering because they don't have quite the same follow-up and cleanliness in team fights.
And the waves are crashing in. They have multiple pressures to face from. That TP will not be able to do a lot. Baron's just about to go down. Y will just fight the Gnar. What? Xayah is not damaging the Gnar in this case, which is not good. And now oh my god, Warwick comes in. It's a bit miscoordinated, but the inhibitor from the bottom side will go down. And Nautilus is in a weird position here. He was not there to tank.
Alright.
And the Baron will go down to LeagueFriends. However, Aurelia does manage to get the inhibitor here. And will she be going for and she goes in for the all-in. The suppress will not be enough to kill her, and she will take down the Malzahar and take down the Leona. This just might be game. That Baron was a good chance for them to, well, look good. That's pretty much it. But the game still is in Portal Esports' hand, and they will just be taking it from the side of from the bottom side of the map.
Yes, can the Caitlyn defend? I doubt she can. That was a very, very dominating game Portal Esports just played. Irelia being aggressive, and that's game.
Ooh, 1,000 gold shutdown bounty, just a bit too late.
And the win goes to Portal Esports from Pakistan against LeagueFriends from India. So stay tuned, guys. We will just look at the match score right now, and we will have more matches, as this is a best of 3 South Asia Champions Cup hosted by Global Esports Pantheon. So what do you have to say about the score chart?
Well, that was a pretty dominating game. In the early game, LeagueFriends showed up pretty decent. They made some fights, and some miscoordination from Portal Esports did yield them winning a bit more fights there. But yeah, I do think this is looking very grim for LeagueFriends. Going in some strong momentum into the next game is Portal Esports.
Yeah, the gap is so big. You see, Irelia was completely dominating. Porto Esports Unknown G, he was completely dominating. 3 items up with the QSS. His counterpart from LeagueFriends only managed to build 1.5 items. This was really, you could say a stomping, but let's not discredit LeagueFriends because they did manage to pull off some pretty good collapses and take Porto Esports by surprise. But nonetheless, it was a GG, and let's hope that no more DCs. Everyone has their internet in check. Everything is going to be okay. We are looking at the damage charts as well. Irelia almost 2 times the damage more than her opponent's top damage dealer.
Muldahar will need to step up a lot from this game and at least manage to match the unknown GI in this case, and it's gonna be just dependent on how well he does in lane and whether he can survive. If his team does have a decent chance of winning, you cannot afford to give up that big of a lead. And I want to see how he adjusts his mindset going to the next game and whether he's able to recover from the mental blow of losing lane or in this case, maybe even the game for his team.
Yes, so all right, we will take a short break and we'll be right back with the next match of the best of 3. Thank you everyone for watching. Just stay tuned. The next match will start very, very soon. And weekend as well.
We are unmuted. No, a guy called Rizal Khan invited me to a blind
with game 2.
That's great. Coming in, Global Esports took game number 1 from the side of LeagueFriends. So coming in, this is game number 2.
Yep, and Portal Esports, I mean, the start was honestly surprising for me. I think LeagueFriends held out pretty well there, considering that Portal Esports were very heavily favored going into the series. But slowly and steadily, they got back in the game and just finished it very fast. And you can see the Irelia ban coming out right now, finally identifying that you need to ban out that champ against Unknown GI. What do you think of that Irelia in the last game?
Pretty devastating. A solo kill coming in from the side of Aurelia without even the utilization of flash within the first 3 minutes of the game is quite devastating. I mean, that's really difficult to do, and this pretty much shows a lack of fundamentals coming in from the side of Malzahar there, because I think what might have happened was that a level 2 slip up, or like just a little bit of damage going in, more better wave control. So like he just crushed the Malzahar based on basic fundamentals on how to control the wave and get level 2 faster.
Brilliant. Oh, I believe Apollonia is back. Appo, are you there? She's reconnected. Hopefully, she can get back. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I really once she gets her stacks up and just jumps in, you can deal a lot of damage. And I think, but Malzar did well to get a kill back in the early game. I think Hamza there went a little too aggressive.
Definitely,
But having said that,
quite
he
a
was
misplay
still,
there.
yeah, he carried quality well.
Although he did hold on to the flash after that play, because I think he wanted to get something back in return, and he knew that Malzahar was in a vulnerable position, so he held on to the flash in case to utilize it to get him into a better position later on.
Awesome, and we
Hello.
have Apollonia back. So, Apo, you joined right in time. The game has just gone to Champion Select. So, I'll leave you guys again to continue your casting.
Wait, what do you mean in Champion Select? I can't even see Champion Select.
Oh, yeah, you aren't in Champion Select. Wait, I will have to invite you once. Dushi, can you invite me and Apollonia to?
Okay, sorry, I'm just starting up my League client again. Holy shit, I tell you, I've never faced such fucked up internet in my life until I came here.
PG-13, by the way.
Oh shit, sorry. They can't hear me.
Yeah, they can't hear you. It's not like the stream is live or anything.
It's live.
Are you being
Exactly.
sarcastic?
Yes.
Oh. You mean they can hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Wait, what?
By they, do you mean the FBI, the CIA, or the streamers?
Are you online right now?
Viewers?
Yes, I'm online. Mogambo just invited.
Wait, we had to remake the lobby because you had to join?
No. We don't remake the lobby. We just have to add to the lobby because spectator is lobby only.
Okay. But didn't someone leave the lobby? Do you have to do that?
No, that's good. I'll let you guys be. I'll leave you guys.
Cool.
User left your channel.
So, you and me are alone here, huh? God. I don't appreciate the laugh of yours.
It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta hit you with the black girl laugh.
Okay, so the game is still not underway yet, but
Okay.
like.
Oh wait, do you have a Facebook page? Or just
Yes.
Okay, I'm sure.
What do you mean? Do you have a Facebook page? I mean, I use Messenger, so.
What is your Facebook name?
Which is basically Eureka spelled backwards.
Not now?
Aurelia ban coming in. We saw this in the previous Champions Select. Sorry about the wait. We had to remake so one of our casters could get in, and that's a respect ban. You saw what that Aurelia did to them last game. I do feel a bit of scarring coming in.
All right. So now LeagueFriends is on the blue side and Portal Esports is on the right. And Irelia Ben. Well, we can tell because from the previous game that Irelia was absolutely dominating the lane.
Definitely. Urgot ban coming in. Looks like Portal Esports is sticking to their standard ban rotations. And Yasuo being banned out. Still a respect ban coming in from unknown GI.
Yeah, so we can tell from this that Portal Esports, they banned Morgana, Urgot, and Nocturne again for the second time. Like you said, this seems to be part of their strategy. They don't seem to like the hard CC from Morgana. Maybe the damage, the bruising, the way to kill a target with the Urgot and the Nocturne global ulti.
One of Morgana's strengths is her ability to protect a single target with her E, so they might be going for more of a pick composition or something that can utilize assassins, like Akali for example. Morgana is somewhat able to shut her down, like one binding could just spell the demise of an Akali as well as spell trouble for champions. Nocturne is really good at counter ganking as well, so they might just not want that that presence to be lurking in the background for when they go for plays.
Right, and we can see that Bran was the first blind pick. I'm thinking typically Bran will be in the support lane and Akali and Severe for Portal Esports. They might want the utility from the Severe. Severe is overall a very, very safe first pick. And Akali is usually just given to players that can play Akali good and you just do smoke helps the mobility of Akali, makes her a very difficult target to kill. And for LeagueFriends, they seem to counter that with Vayne. Vayne having been one of the strongest ADCs currently because of her silver bolts, the press, the attack. And Warwick seems to be the comfort here for LeagueFriends, and also Vi for Portal Esports. Why do you think they both stick to these junglers and not something like a Rammus, a Sejuani, and other, or maybe more tanky picks in the jungle?
Well, I'm not sure about the Y, but Y is good at picking. And as for the Sivir coming in, if you notice that the Akali doesn't have reliable wave clear. She still has to get close to the minions to land her Q to be able to effectively wave clear. Whereas Sivir sort of compensates for that weakness because she does have a lot of AoE wave clear there, and as well as can help for taking towers. The speed boost can help both Akali and Y coming in, so she's basically offering utility for her assassins as well as increasing their pick potential. The Warwick and Wayne and Brand coming in are just seemingly comfort picks. Maybe the Wayne is just there to for the scaling aspect of the game, which they lacked in the previous game.
Yes, they did indeed lack the scaling aspect because the kit was definitely struggling a little bit. Vayne just has, very nice damage. I just hope that the Vayne will be able to stand in the lane a lot against a Severe, knowing that Severe has like a longer range than she does, especially the Q harass. What's interesting now in the second ban phase, Portal Esports has banned Na. They didn't seem to like the Na from the previous game because of the apparent lane dominance Na had in the early game. Perhaps Vladimir as well, very good pick. And LeagueFriends really respecting the Thresh and Nautilus that could possibly be played by Cranko, who is an Indian player playing for this Pakistani team called Portal Esports. And now a Janna coming out. What do you think the game plan is for the Severe Janna bot lane against, for what we can see now is a Vayne and Bran?
The Mozart is locked in once again. I'm interested in seeing how well he plays this time around. This time his matchup is against an Akali. He did decide to get the pick. He did know what the enemy was already picking, which potentially could have been a flex, but I doubt it would be. Akali is most definitely going mid lane. Unknown GI is one of the better Akali players. So, yep. And it looks like we're going for more of an AoE type composition coming in. From the side of team friends, whatever. But like they're fixing their past mistakes of not having enough AoE damage and relying too much on single target damage by picking Bran and Malphite. So that's going to be interesting. They actually have a much better chance of team fighting here.
Yes, there's one thing that I always keep in mind every time we look at team compositions and whatnot. I always feel that there has to be a good mix of melee champions as well as ranged champions. So if you can see here on the side of Portal Esports, the two ranged champions are Severe and Janna, knowing that Janna is more of a utility-based kind of champion, not much damage. So the only ranged damage they have is actually Severe. I usually see that as something a little bit, sketchy. Whereas for LeagueFriends, they have Vayne, Malzahar, and Bran on the range side. It gives a good balance of how the stance of each champions are supposed to be when a team fight comes around. So looking at this, I feel that Portal Esports would have to dive full head-on into LeagueFriends a lot more, and LeagueFriends could probably just shut that down with the Malphite ulti, the Malzahar suppress, and the Brand AoE. So what do you think? Who do you think has the upper hand here in terms of team comp? I'm leaning slightly more towards LeagueFriends, but looking at the Malzahar pick, I'm a bit sketchy, but I think LeagueFriends has overall a much better team composition. What do you think?
I think this is one of those games where it's not about the later on the level 6. So this is one of those games where you have a Warwick who's not very amazing or doesn't have too much to offer in the early game, but like against a Y and a Malphite. Malphite doesn't have too much to offer either, but Silas is a very dangerous champion and can bully the Malphite with his trades as well as his sustain. It's going to be very difficult for Malphite to keep up in HP against the Silas. He's just gonna need to survive and farm it out. Whereas a lot more threat coming in from the Y this time around because the Gnar is being banned out. Gnar does have a leap available, giving him more safety as compared to Malphite. So it's going to be interesting to see how Malphite decides to survive this lane and whether he is able to counter the early pressure from the Silas and the Y.
Right. So this is going to be very interesting. We're right now in the spectator delay. I would just like to say that you're watching the South Asia Champions Cup. We are playing in the Singapore and Malaysia server. Very huge thank you to our sponsors, which is Global Esports Pantheon. They're an esports brand. Be sure to check out their social media. They have everything to do with esports. Right now, it is the stage 2 knockout stage between LeagueFriends from India on the left and Portal Esports from Pakistan on the right. And this is a best of 3. We're actually going into the second match of the best of 3, having Portal Esports won the first match, and the winner of this overall best of 3 matches will qualify to the league stage of the tournament. So moving back to the champion select right here, we're looking at the picks and bans and all of that. I personally do not like the Malzahar pick all that much, but it seems to be a comfort for Lethal on the side of Friends. It's very interesting. I would like to see what the pressure is like early game, because pretty much whichever team gets a good amount of pressure early game and just steamroll from that, the game can be closed. Whereas if it's a scaling game where they take time to scale, it's pretty hard to tell. It will be pretty hard.
And once an Akali gets big and gets going, it's really difficult to stop her. Malzahar cannot afford to make any mistakes over here. Aurelia still makes it difficult for Malzahar to be dope because he does have that single target CC, so dives are a lot scarier and much more calculated due to the cooldowns available. But with Akali, it's going to be a lot harder to survive the burst, sheer burst damage, and or even potentially have the time to use the ultimate.
Yes, so right now we are moving into the loading screen and we're having a look. I actually really like Sacred Sword Janna. I think it's one of the best skins that she has. And Aristocrat Vayne is also one of my favorites. I think she looks classy.
I mean, there is Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer used to be the OG skin back in the day for Wayne players.
Yeah, dragons.
But yeah, like everyone used to use the Dragon Slayer skin like back in the day in season 2, season 3.
The thing is, now they came out with the chroma for Dragon Slayer Vayne, and when I see a green Dragon Slayer Vayne, that absolutely tilts me because it looks so silly, but I actually like it. I love the chromas in this game. The addition of chromas for your skins, I thought that I actually find myself spending a lot more money and
Skins
actually.
actually annoy me because like there's so
Oh,
many of them, and like I'm like, okay, that's annoying. I want good skins, but there are too many choices to pick from now. This is
so
making
so
me
you're
mad.
mad because you have too many choices.
Yeah, man, I want life to be simple, not give me a bunch of choices. It's not good for me.
The average person asks for more choices, but you prefer the choices to be small.
Oh, I'm a very indecisive person.
That's Eureka, guys. And also, I didn't really introduce myself. I'm Apollonia. I'm from Galaxy, India. I used to be in Singapore and I moved over to India. And right now I'm just pursuing esports here. And it's been really nice because everyone has been very warm and welcoming. So
Oh,
that's a
hype.
plus.
Wait. One question.
Yes.
Can I like get an autograph, ma'am?
Yes, you may. I can mail it to you. But you have to pay for
Sweet.
shipping charges.
God damn, the scam is real. Like it's
All
free,
right.
but just pay for shipping.
All right, and now we are in the game. Let's be sure to fast forward. Remember, we are all from South Asia, which includes India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and many more. Ping is not really usually on our side. You might experience pauses during the game, but that's because our players are having trouble, and we hope to make sure this goes as smooth as possible for you. So let's have a look. The teams seem to be taking position. We can see LeagueFriends guarding the openings as they usually do, and Portal Esports being slightly more aggressive by taking that step into the river.
Standard routes, pretty much as defensive measures being taken, making sure nobody gets any funny ideas invading into the jungle.
Yeah, so in the bot lane, I would expect that both AD carries will have a decent time farming. The brand will provide enough poke to make sure that Vayne does get her CS and Sivir has Janna to keep her safe. In the top lane, Silas versus Malphite. I know Silas to be very strong right now. Let's see how they play this out because Silas would generally probably get in more damage on the trades as he also heals as well from his W.
Normally, you would like to bundle a Wayne with something that has heals available and sustain available, but they
That's
paired the Waynes with a brand, and also the fact that Janna kind of negates the brand's burst early level 1 damage with her shields, as well as Sivir just being a more pokey champion in general, having slightly higher range than the Wayne. I feel like this will be a bit of a difficult lane for the Wayne. She's already eating poke right now, and life is just going to be difficult for her
and
because of
Brand
not
just got
having
a
that sustain.
and Brand got a very good bit of harass off. So it's a Malzahar Akali lane with Silas Malphite at the top. Looking at the junglers, Warwick has gone from red to straight onto his next buff, but Vi is taking all of the camps on the bottom side, which I actually feel is much better pathing coming on the side of Portal Esports. And bot seems to be very action heavy, a lot of poke going in, back and forth. Bran has amazingly landed a lot and probably all of his skills onto the Janna and Severe.
Yep, and the poke coming in from the John on the Wayne has not been as significant due to the poke coming in from the brand. He is making sure his abilities keep his AD carry safe. They do say offense is the best defense.
And there is a gank coming in from the side of Porto Esports Vi into the mid lane. Vi waits patiently. Let's see if anything's going to happen. A bit more harass back and forth in the bot lane. Warwick seems to be circling around and Vi makes a gank into the mid lane. Here comes Warwick. And now it's a 2v2 in the mid lane. Is Malzahar going to help?
Nice.
Or Akali flashes onto the Malzahar. Malzahar does his best to auto-attack. Warwick finishes off the Vi with a lovely chop out of her, and that is first blood going to LeagueFriends from India. A lot of hectic
Coming
things.
back with a vengeance there.
Exactly, a lot of hectic things happening now all over the map. Malphite's a little bit low on mana, Vayne is low on health, there's just fighting, aggressiveness all across the rift.
Malphite's being bullied by the Sylas.
It's a bit
Making it
risky
quite
for
difficult
Malphite.
for him to farm.
So this is...
Malphite isn't one of those champions that's amazing at farming under tower, even with his E. He's gonna have a difficult time. He's definitely gonna fall down under CS.
Definitely, there will be some struggles. I feel that the jungler and the mid laner should pick up an early sweeping lens as well because of the Akali. I feel that the sweeping lens shows the outline and you kind of know roughly where she's going to go.
Akali.
Well, we're going to go for that kill. Vi is relatively close by. That
delayed recall is pretty big. That delayed recall is pretty big. Malzahar should just shove this lane.
Yeah, Malzahar is going to push it out. Vi is looking for a sneaky bush camp. Here comes Warwick. Good timing, and now it's a 2v2, a punch onto Malphite.
Sylas still has flash available. Vi is there for the counter gank. Malphite forced the flash, and Warwick will E after the Sylas, and Warwick is chasing down here. He wants that kill on the Sylas. He's all inning. He will not. The Q will land onto the Warwick. Warwick may go down. The Malzahar room coming in will take the kill onto the Sylas.
That was
will not have enough damage for the Y. Yeah, that was a pretty good roam.
Yes, the previous game we didn't see much of this roaming happening from LeagueFriends, but right now Lethal, he was pretty much in his lane a little bit more than his opponent, which was the Irelia, but now he's actually making that difference and roaming. Hopefully he doesn't lose too much of his tower, because one tower plate could go off to Akali, and that is 160 gold. So as we're looking here, there's 2 kills on the side of LeagueFriends from India and 1 kill on the side of Global Esports from Pakistan. While we engages onto the Akali, there doesn't seem to be any backup for Akali. Malzahar will reach to the party first. Warwick smites for that health. Is going to get that kill. Is there going to be a fight, a 2v2 in the bot side jungle? No. We're back to some action happening in the top lane and the bot lane. No fight breaks out in the bottom side of the jungle between both teams' mid laners and junglers. We see a very aggressive Vi, and Akali just swoops in and takes the kill on Warwick, you see. So this coming from Global Esports, this is what we can expect of them, because they've been they're a very good established team, having all players are at an average of Diamond Elo. To fake that they were backing off, they actually came back and took the Warwick's life. So I would guess that they would definitely need more wards, more vision wards. Put that vision up, report, be on your toes. Jenna is looking for that kill, but is she going to get it, or is this just way too risky? Jenna actually flashes, gets the kill. That was a very questionable condemn from the Vayne, but they did get the kill on the Jenna nevertheless, but Bren had to go down. That was very questionable.
Yeah, not the most worth of trade. And the Akali coming in here, she did grab that kill early on onto the Warwick, and like I said, she is one of those champions you can't afford to get ahead. She snowballs so hard.
And the CS difference, Global Esports seems to be doing a wave and above much better. And Sylas engages with the rock bang right onto Malphite. Malphite tries to run away. He is struggling, getting slapped with chains, and he makes it out safe. The nullifying orb from his runes definitely soaking up some of that damage. Sylas is definitely...
Another roam coming in from Malzahar here, and Warwick is in the area. This might be quite risky for our young friend, young Chi-Chi here.
Young Chi-Chi from Global Esports at the top lane. And Akali is making a rotation. Is she going to take the cone? Yes, she does. Is looking for a gank onto the brand. Bot lane would have to push. We see some action happening in top lane. And now bot lane tries to aggressively push. Both junglers doing their second buffs from the second spawn. And it looks like it's a 3v2. Porto Esports. Akali engages onto the Vayne condemns her away.
Ooh, the dive
Akali
is
burns
being
the
set up
Ignite.
really well. The E does not land. That's quite unfortunate.
And
But
Vayne
the
goes
dash,
down.
second dash coming in soon. And the Sivir will survive with just a little bit of help
Malzahar
remaining.
gets
Malzahar ultis.
double kill.
The Janna gets a kill, but oh my god, he gets a duck. Yeah. Akali cleaning up quite well though.
But Akali lives. And that was a 4-2.
Honestly, all they really need is to get that Akali going, and the game is going to be cracked open like an egg. Sivir is a very safe champion. Even if Malzahar does get a bit of kills, I don't think he's going to be able to contend with an Akali. And the dive on the top lane, some plates going down, lots of gold going over to the side of Global Esports. Currently a 2k gold lead.
That was the jungler didn't need help Silas at all. That was a solo kill right under the tower, a tower dive, 2 plates, gold going to them. It's very action-packed for the past 10 minutes. At least one death every minute happening. It wasn't very good for Porto Esports to lose 2 members on the bot side. It was a 3v2, but they made up for it with the kill at top. So Porto Esports now ahead, 7 kills. LeagueFriends would have to try a little bit harder, get the rotations going, and the vision. If you look at the vision on the map, it looks pretty even for both sides, but I feel that one of the teams need to step it up and try to get the vision going. With vision wards at least. And attaining the scuttle. Right now, Silas engages onto the Malphite, slaps his chains on him, steals his ultimate one more time. Malphite does not seem to be able to do enough damage onto Silas, having the keyboard. Barmy Cinder. He's going for a tanky build. Here comes the ulti from Silas. Malphite retaliates, Akali ganks, and both of them will live. And that's another kill straight to Porto Esports, taking the life of the top laner SKT Rabbit from LeagueFriends.
That may also mean the tower going down because nobody is coming to respond here, and the wave is coming in. Although the wave is quite small, they will at least get 2 plates.
And there's the ulti from Malzahar onto the Vi. Was a very dodgy engage. Here comes another ulti from Huawei. Janna pushes him away. Ulti coming out, and nobody will die right now.
Nobody dies. Too much safety from both sides. And just not enough damage, honestly, to get away from the Janna shields.
Yes.
But Akali is just wreaking havoc on the side lanes all by herself.
So here is the Janna clearing away vision from LeagueFriends. Right now, everyone is just getting back to where they're supposed to be, gaining the vision, rotating if they have to. Porto Esports plays very aggressively in the bot lane, trying to chunk out some damage to get that 4th plate. And here comes the engage from Vayne and Brand. But Seville runs like the wind, and Janna blows them up. That was really an all-in engage, having burned both the one ulti, sorry, my mistake. Brand did not use his ulti. Akali and Vi making their way down in the bot lane. This is a problem that LeagueFriends have. Their bot lane gets 4 men. I think the TP will be too late from the Malphite, as well as Silas also TPing. It's a 5-man bot lane from the side of Porto Esports. Porto Esports have been displaying very good coordination when it comes to ganking and following up, helping out their teammates, getting their objectives like the towers. The Silas takes Malzahar ulti, puts it on Malphite, doesn't get anything out of it, and here comes Akali fighting Malzahar in the mid lane. Malzahar is going to go down, he does not have an ult. Pops stopwatch, and no, that is 300 gold for Akali. The teammates also taking down the bot tower, the first tower of the game.
And the game is just slowly gonna open up. The first tower goes down, the rotations come in, the herald goes down, and the game is now slowly just going to open up for the side of Portal.
So everyone that's watching, you are now watching the South Asia Champions Cup. It is sponsored by Global Esports Pantheon. Right now you are watching the Stage 2 knockout stage, Portal Esports from Pakistan on the right and LeagueFriends from India on the left. This is a best of 3, the second match. First match was won by Portal Esports, and the winner of the best of 3 will qualify to the league stage of the tournament. A very aggressive engage of Silas onto the Warwick. Here comes a Malphite. Rock solid, bang straight onto the Silas. Can they get this kill? No. Silas gets a chunk of health back. Malphite retreats because he knows he can't fight that, and Malzahar comes in for the follow-up. Janna's around with the Silas as well as Akali.
Silas is too strong. He does have Warwick ultimate available. Oh no, he already used it actually.
So right now we can see that Akali is doing some work trying to get a kill off Malzahar ults and Janna ultis to try and keep her safe. Akali is hiding. There's also a fight breaking down in bottom. Will Vayne get the kill? No, she won't. And Akali dies to tower damage. So that is 1 death on the side of Portal Esports and 2 deaths on the side of LeagueFriends.
Wayne tries to go in and get the Sivir, but it is just not enough. Sivir simply runs away with the flash and ultimate.
Vi seems to be taking the Rift Herald right now, getting that objective. And the first dragon has actually gone to Portal Esports, and that was an air dragon. Air the right term? Wind dragon, air dragon.
Could you handle this for me? I'll be right back.
And the second dragon will be a cloud dragon coming up. So right now, looking at the map, Portal Esports pretty much is dominating right now. They've got 2 towers out of LeagueFriends. LeagueFriends is doing their best. I feel that they need to rotate, help each other more. And here is a 3-man collapse right onto the Malzahar just as he's walking to his tower because of that ward. A ward spotted him out, probably done by Krenko, who's a very experienced support player from India, but he's playing for Portal Esports from Pakistan. They try to put some pressure onto the second tier tower in the mid lane after taking the first, after that lovely kill. So looking at the CS difference, Portal Esports way ahead. LeagueFriends has a little bit of coming back done. And overall, this game seems to be a lot more fast-paced, and Vi runs right into Bran. Bran throws his spells, misses. Vi continues to chase. A little bit of action happening here in the mid lane. 1v2. So Portal Esports is now securing the second Cloud Dragon. I feel it's called Cloud Dragon. And just a little statistic, just so that you guys will know, 2 Cloud Dragons actually equals the same movement speed boost as Moby boots. So if you are wearing Merc threads and you have 2 Cloud Dragons, you have the movement of Moby boots. So just a little note for all of you there. Akali gets a kill straight onto Bran, busts him. Vayne tries to be safe. Warwick gets shut down. There are 4 men down here. Malphite comes to the party. They have lost 2 members already. What is going to happen? Portal Esports sticking together as 5 very close. I would suggest a rotation from the Vayne, and here comes the 5-man collapse onto the Malzahar. Malzahar goes down. This will be the 4th tower for Portal Esports in the second match of the best of 3. If Portal Esports takes this win, they will qualify to the league stage of the tournament. So right now, my co-caster has gone for a little break, so it'll just be me. I'm Apollonia from Galaxy India, not to worry. And I was originally from Singapore, moved over to India, and now pursuing esports. And it's great to see games like this by the South Asia Champions Cup being played, opportunities for the South Asia community here, sponsored by Global Esports Pantheon, which is the channel that you're watching. Subscribe, check the social media out. They're a great esports platform. So right now we can see Portal Esports gaining all that vision in the bot side of the jungle. Vision wards are being placed. Looking at the vision score, all of them seem to be doing a good amount of work, providing that control. Unfortunately, LeagueFriends have not taken a single tower. Now the Rift Herald is being popped by Vi, the objective that she managed to secure along with 2 other Cloud Dragons. Here comes Akali with a very aggressive play right into the base, bursts in. Portal Esports just wiped out Malzahar in the bot lane. There's a 2v2 fight, 3v2 fight. Is LeagueFriends going to get a kill? They got 1 kill. The Akali goes down from Portal Esports. Malphite tries to run for his life. That was a dodgy flash by Krenko, but she secured the kill onto the Malphite. Rift Herald does her job. Remember, Rift Herald's a female. Rift Herald does her job in the bottom lane, smacks the inhibitor, and that is the first inhibitor down.
Okay, I'm back. What's going on here? Could you fill me in? And
Hello.
the game's about to end. What's going on? How did this happen?
The Rift Herald was popped. Akali burst down the target. Portal Esports just taking the fight into their hands. All the vision is theirs. It's GG.
Oh, nice. This is a 20-minute end. That's really impressive.
Yes, this game was much faster than the previous one, was it?
Yeah, it was a lot cleaner as well. The Akali just getting fed is way too scary.
Yeah, so
it looks like actually the game is not ending yet. They might just decide to go for Baron. All the members of LeagueFriends are up. Flash coming in from the brand. Yeah, not enough though. I guess anything goes for now.
LeagueFriends hanging on for dear life. Baron is up, their bottom inhibitor is down. That's going to be a very difficult rotation for them. But Malphite does have his TP up, so he can hold the bottom lane while the rest of the team can contest for Baron if they have to, and he can TP right in. So LeagueFriends should definitely be looking to make sure that they could poke in a bit of damage. But here comes Akali onto the Warwick in the bot lane with Malphite following up. Will they get the kill on Akali? Malphite ulties. And
even if they do, Baron belongs to the side of Portal Esports. This kill is worth nothing.
Was this worth? I don't think it was worth. Malphite just stayed in base, protecting so that Akali couldn't get to him.
Although to be honest, if you think about it, the wave was already gonna push in because of the super minions due to the inhibitor being down. So Akali didn't need to die there, even to secure Baron. It was just an extra measure. So it just offers a little bit of maybe extra safety, but like I don't think they needed to sacrifice her even to get that Baron.
Yes, and as well with Portal Esports having 2 Cloud Drakes in their possession, they have extremely fast movement speed. Remember, 2 Cloud Drakes equals the same movement speed as Moby Boots, so they basically have empowered Merc Dreads, empowered Sorcerer's Boots. They're running around the map.
All going down. Brand forced Lasagna will not be enough to survive. We'll just go down.
It doesn't look good, doesn't look bright for LeagueFriends. Now that
you know what the most important part is? That hopefully they still will remain friends after this.
Was a solo kill of Vayne onto the Vi.
Showing off them Vayne mechanic. Oh my god, that Janna damage is...
That was really good Vayne mechanic.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Be obliterated. And here comes Cranko from India,
one auto
representing
is just
Portal Esports with that solo kill on the Vayne. You don't touch my jungler. That's what Cranko was saying. That's what he thought. True, his Zephyr, everything right onto target. And
oh
here
my god,
comes
jumping into 4 people with the ball? Okay.
Akali's lifesteal is ridiculous. Malphite ulti, and
It's not.
Silas
What
is
is
gonna.
going? How does she survive all this? The Malphite just waited to ult for so long. It's just. I guess he wants to get multiple people. It's just. Akali should be considered multiple people. Not even gonna lie. It should be worth to just ult on her.
And Porto Esports taking back some of their dominance, killing off the Warwick, and also Severe with that double kill. He has audacity. You have the audacity to kill my teammates. I have the audacity to kill you. So
Like, Cranko from India is doing really well, isn't he?
he is. He seems to be gelling very well with Porto Esports. I heard that he's been training with them for quite a while now since they acquired him. Just a fun fact to everyone out there: I actually
That go on.
worked in conjunction with Entity Esports, also an Indian organization, to bring Cranko down to Singapore. So he has played in the Singaporean circuit before. I hosted him there. So he definitely has a lot of knowledge. I used to coach him and whatnot. So I'm glad to see that, everything is paying off. He even has a Magi's with 24 stats. Is that
Well, I mean,
BM
he
or
did
is
kill
that
the
clever?
Wayne. Did you not see that Bilgewater Cutlass over there? I mean, he means business. I bet he could even solo kill the Malzahar.
Yes, and they also secured the third
Okay,
cloud trick.
no, he
Their
couldn't.
movement speed is insane. Jenna pops the early ulti to make sure all her teammates are healthy to end this game. Both the Nexus towers, one is down, one is still up. And the second one goes down. Here comes the fight. Malphite ultis. It is hectic. The Warwick goes onto the Sivir.
Oh, the
Managed to finish
ultimate!
the
That was
Sivir.
really good. Stole Malphite ultimate onto 2 people, and this is going to be a really clean
And
fight
that's
from the
an
side of Portal.
ace. And this game goes to Portal Esports with the second win. Best
GG,
of
and
3 over
that
GG
basically
well
means
played.
they win the best of 3. And the
Yeah.
winner of this match is Portal Esports, and looks like LeagueFriends will be sticking to arms from now on, because they will remain friends, of course, but they're no longer part of the tournament. Goodbye.
So the winner of this match will qualify to the league stage of the tournament. You just witnessed Portal Esports from Pakistan versus LeagueFriends from India. That was very interesting. The second match definitely went down a lot more coordinated for Portal Esports as compared to the first one. LeagueFriends did their best. They have an overall elo of roughly gold, while Portal Esports have an overall elo of diamond and above. So I would say that LeagueFriends did their best. They managed to at least get kills. They did
Wait, one
try.
thing. I want to add one thing before the stream ends.
Mhm.
Cranko from India is indeed very hot.
So I see that my co-caster Eureka has a crush, a man crush, on one of the players. And looking at the damage charts here, you can see that Severe was actually dealing the most amount of damage. I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be Akali. Because I always felt that Severe didn't have that much damage, but looking at her items, she had an IE, she has rapid fire cannon, she also has so that's very understandable. Definitely overall a good 2 matches. Well played to both LeagueFriends and Portal Esports. Thank you guys
Well
for
played,
watching.
yeah.
Yeah, the next game will be at 8 p.m.
Bangladeshi team.
All right. So who can we be expecting to stream that game? It will be Bishi and Frost.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yes, we'll have Bishi and Frost. much. This was the South Asia Champions Cup. Next few matches will be at 8 p.m. This tournament was sponsored by Global Esports Pantheon. Winners of all these matches will qualify to the league stage of the tournament. We'll see you guys very soon.